Hello again, class 477. Let's continue with Karl Polster, the German purchasing director at Mercedes-Benz, and Anna Barghini, the general manager of her father's company, the car seat manufacturer in Verona, Italy. Here you have them having dinner together. This was last night. They were together last night in a small, intimate restaurant in the center of Stuttgart. Now, as you can see in the picture, a ver si encuentro, they look sad. I don't know, look at them. They look sad. Anna looks sad and Karl looks serious. He's only 34. In this picture, he looks 44 to me. Okay. He's become very mature and very serious. Karl Polster last night was sitting opposite. I'm sitting opposite you. And you're sitting opposite me. Estoy sentado enfrente tuyo, se dice hoy en día, enfrente de ti. I'm sitting opposite you, you're sitting opposite me. We are sitting opposite each other. But in this case, Karl Polster last night was sitting opposite Anna Barghini in a small, intimate restaurant in the center of Stuttgart. Even though he had opened his heart, even though, aunque había ya abierto su corazón, even though he had opened his heart to Anna in a letter he had sent her the week before, he still felt self-conscious, autoconsciente, o sea, tímido. He still felt self-conscious, me lío yo. He still felt self-conscious and unsure of himself with her. ¿Qué problema tiene el chico, eh? Yeah. It's because, listen, she's beautiful. That can intimidate a man. Second, she's rich, and he's not. He's not poor either. Eh? He's the general purchasing director, so he's not poor. And besides, he has a house in the Black Forest. But in any case, he feels intimidated a little bit. But he's strong enough to overcome this feeling and to write her letters and to have dinner with her, etc. So, I think. Maybe he's going to win her heart. Who knows? But in any case, even though he had opened his heart to her in a letter he had sent her the week before, he still felt self-conscious and unsure of himself with her. She was rich, beautiful, and the general manager of the second largest car seat manufacturer in Europe. Okay. What impressed him even more, le impresionaba incluso más. What impressed, lo que quiero es descansar. What I want, sé lo que quiero. I know what I want. Lo que le impresionó, o le impresionaba. What impressed him even more was that she was only 27. Bueno, but of course, one could say, uno podría decir o afirmar, alegar, one could say that her wealth and corporate position was the result of having a rich father who owned a company. Okay. Wealth is riqueza. Wealthy means adinerado. Rich is rico. If I win the Christmas lottery, I say albricias. Say, wow, I'm rich. If I win the Christmas lottery, I don't say I'm wealthy. My children, after one generation, if I manage the money well, my children will be wealthy, a wealthy family. All right. So wealthy means adinerado en el sentido de riqueza establecida. Rich es simplemente rico. In both cases, it's correct. The Rockefeller family is rich, and the Rockefeller family is wealthy. But if you win the Christmas lottery, your family's not wealthy, yet your family's rich. Bueno, you're wealthy, but we don't use the word wealthy. Wealthy is riqueza tradicional. All right, wealthy. Wealth, riqueza. También, por ejemplo, el Commonwealth británico, o sea, the British Commonwealth means literalmente la riqueza común británica. All right, the Commonwealth. Wealthy, 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 wealthy. So one, of course, one could say that her wealth and corporate position, su puesto corporativo en la corporación, and her corporate escrito, corporate position, su puesto en la organización, her corporate position was a result, fue un resultado, en inglés decimos, fue resultado, era resultado de tener un papá rico, ¿no? All right, que tenía el dueño de la compañía. All right, enchufes. Of course, one could say that her wealth and corporate position were the result of having a rich father who owned a company. However, her beauty was hers and hers only. Her beauty was hers and hers only. And she had already won the respect. Fíjate la de had. She had already. Ella había ya ganado respeto. She had already won. Recuerda, el pasado y participio de win suena como el número uno. Won. Gané uno. I won one. So she had already won. She had already won the respect of a lot of people at Mercedes-Benz, no? Yeah. Thanks to her keen, thanks to her keen business sense, sentido de los negocios. Her keen means intense, keen, K-E-E-N, keen, her keen business sense. Carl wanted so much, oh, pobrecito. Carl wanted so much to gain her affection that he couldn't keep from feeling nervous. He couldn't avoid feeling nervous. He couldn't keep from feeling nervous. He was 34 years old. He was 34 years old and hadn't had a serious relationship with a woman since he was 27. Carl. He was 34 years old and hadn't had a serious relationship with a woman since he was 27. 7 years. All right. At that time, when he was 27, at that time he was engaged. To be engaged is estar prometido. Prometido. No novio, pero novio en planeando boda, planificando boda. Eso sí. Engaged is when they give you a diamond ring. That's to formalize the plans for a wedding. And that period of time is called engagement. And to be engaged. All right. For example, I was engaged for 2 months only. Yeah. I started going out with my wife in February. I asked her to marry in October. And we got married in December. So we were engaged. We were going out together for 7 months, 8 months. We were engaged for 2. And then we got married. That's not common in Spain. Many times the novios for 14 years, and then they get married, and sometimes get divorced. All right. So, engaged. So, at that time, when he was 27, he was engaged to a girl from Hanover. Hanover is a city in the north of Germany, near Hamburg. But 2 months before, they were supposed to get married. Que se supone que se casaban. 2 months before they were supposed to get married, or to be married. Los dos valen aquí. Aquí dice be married. Estar casados. So they were supposed to be married. She died in a traffic accident. His fiancée died in a traffic accident 2 months before the wedding. Since then, desde entonces, since then, Carl had tried to forget the loss. To forget the loss, olvidar la pérdida. Loss, L-O-S-S, es como jefe, boss, pero con L y no B. La pérdida de nuestro jefe. The loss of our boss wasn't a big loss. The loss of our boss. La pérdida de nuestro jefe no fue gran pérdida. All right. The loss of our boss wasn't a big loss. So, since the traffic accident 7 years ago, Carl had tried to forget the loss. ¿Cómo? By devoting himself, dedicándose, devoción, devoting himself totally to his job at Mercedes-Benz. He had moved up the ranks of the company. Había subido los rangos, se dice en inglés, de la compañía. He had moved up the ranks of the company and was now the general purchasing director. Not bad. He realized, se daba cuenta, he realized that his devotion to work had changed his personality and made him a much more serious person. Anda, ¿por qué tan seria? Una persona tan seria, pobre. Yes. He realized, se daba cuenta de esto, me he vuelto muy serio. Well, general purchasing manager is a very important job. You need to be very serious in your job. But at the same time, he was sad because of the loss of his fiancée 7 years before. But, 7 years is 7 years. You need to get back on your feet, right? And continue progressing. All right. So he realized that his devotion to work, al trabajo, his devotion to work had changed his personality and made him a much more serious person. That's why, es por eso, anoche tenía problemas. That's why he was having trouble relating to Ana in a fun, natural way. In a fun, natural way. I mean, women like men who are fun. They enjoy having fun. And they like men who are funny, have a good sense of humor. But apparently he doesn't have a good sense of humor. I don't know. That's why he was having trouble. Por eso, por lo que le costaba trabajo. He was having trouble relating with Ana in a fun, natural way. Okay. During the dinner, he told her about the tragic events of 7 years before. He told her about his fiancée, the traffic accident, etc., and how he had thrown himself. To throw is lanzar, to throw. I'm going to throw this at you. But to throw yourself is te lanzas dentro, te zambulles. So, boom, you dive in. He had thrown himself into his work, focusing only on the job. So, during the dinner, he told her about the tragic events of 7 years before and how he had thrown himself into his work at the company. Ana, no está hablando, I think. Ana said very little. Dijo muy poco. Yeah. She's sitting like this. Ana said very little during most of the meal. All of the meal, no, but during most of the meal. Meal is la comida, bueno, la cena en este caso. Ana said very little during most of the meal. However, she felt comfortable. and at ease. At ease. De ahí viene la palabra easy. Easy es fácil. Pero ease es facilidad. Pero to feel at ease es sentirse uno tranquilo. To feel at ease. De hecho, in fact, in the military, atención, descansen. Attention, at ease. All right, at ease. A tranquilidad, a facilidad. Literalmente, at ease. La palabra easy, cambiando la Y por un E-A-C. Easy, ease, at ease. And so Anna, last night, even though Carl was very serious and sad, telling her about tragic events, she felt comfortable and at ease. She felt comfortable and at ease. Carl seemed like a sad person. Parecía una persona triste, con tristeza. Carl seemed like a sad person who was trying his best to be a pleasant host. Host, el que invita is the host. El que va a invitar is the guest. The host and the guest. The host, anfitrión y invitado. Host and guest. Host. So, Carl seemed like a sad person who was trying his best to be a pleasant host. He seemed sincere. Sincero, menos mal. He seemed sincere. And she could see, Anna, she could see that he had a broad culture. A broad culture. Amplia cultura. That he had a broad culture. I don't know. It's a strange relationship for me. No cuadra. But in any case. We'll see what happens in the future. All right, paragraph 198 paragraphs. Are you ready? Oof. These paragraphs are even more difficult than the stories about Anna Bargini or Karl Polster or whatever. Paragraph number 26. Open your book. You have your book? Open it to page 22, paragraph number 26. Are you ready? No, don't look. Don't open it. Listen to me first. This is difficult. No wonder he's angry. If something like that had happened to Jones when Jones was here, some heads would have rolled. Nowadays, nobody seems to want the responsibility. I remember when there used to be some authority around here. Me too. Yo también, a mí también. Yo sí recuerdo también. I remember when there used to be some authority around here. No wonder he's angry. No wonder he's angry. If something like that had happened when Jones was here, some heads would have rolled. Nowadays, nobody seems to want the responsibility. I remember when there used to be some authority around here. This is very common. Yes. No me extraña que esté el enfadado. No me extraña en absoluto. No wonder. Wonder is maravilla. Las 7 maravillas del mundo, the 7 wonders of the world. Yes. And the 8th wonder of the world is Marta. Yeah, the 7 wonders of the world. But I wonders, me pregunto, ¿dónde estará Tomás? I wonder, ¿por qué lo habrá hecho? I wonder why he did it. ¿Dónde estarán? I wonder where they are. ¿Quién será? I wonder who it is. Al no saber si es hombre o mujer, se dice it. ¿Quién será? A estas horas, ¿quién será? I wonder who it is. I wonder who's knocking at the door. Now, but no wonder means es lógico. No me extraña en absoluto. Es lógico que esté enfadado. No me extraña que esté enfadado. No wonder he's angry. Era he, no? No wonder he's angry. Yeah. No, if something like that had happened when Jones was here, some heads would have rolled. Toma. If something like that had happened when Jones, escrito Jones, Jones, Jennifer Jones, it's a very common surname. Mr. Jones, Mr. Smith. The 2 most common names in English are Mr. Smith or Mrs. Smith and Mrs. Jones. Yes. If something like that had happened when Jones was here, some heads would have rolled. Excuse me? Some heads would have rolled. I don't understand. Some heads. Some heads. Algunas cabezas habrían rodado. Se dice en español rodar cabezas, ¿no, Marta? Yeah. In English too. No wonder he's angry. Si algo así, if something like that had happened, si algo así hubiera ocurrido cuando Jones estaba aquí, if something like that had happened when Jones was here, some heads would have rolled. Habrían rodado. Some heads would have rolled. Nowadays, hoy en día, nowadays, nobody seems to want the responsibility. Nowadays, nadie parece querer la responsabilidad o asumir la responsabilidad. Rehuyen. Nobody seems to want the responsibility. I remember when there used to be some authority around here. I remember when there used to be. Antes sí que había. Yo recuerdo cuando antes había. Ya no hay. There isn't any authority anymore. ¿A quién manda? ¿Quién manda? You know, el jefe antiguo está muy enfadado porque está viendo lo que pasa. Yeah. Si hubiera estado aquí él. All right. Antes había. There used to be authority. Authority. I remember when there used to be algo de autoridad. I remember when there used to be some authority. Y lo hacemos. Some authority. I remember when there used to be some authority around por aquí. Yo recuerdo cuando había algo de autoridad por aquí. Por aquí es around, alrededor de aquí, literalmente. I remember when there used to be some authority around here. Yes. No wonder he's angry. Yeah, no wonder he's angry. No wonder. No me extraña, es lógico. No wonder. Se dice muchísimo en inglés. No wonder. No wonder he's angry. If something like that had happened when Jones was here, some heads would have rolled. Nowadays, hoy en día, nobody seems to want the responsibility. No he sido yo. Nobody seems to want the responsibility. I remember when there used to be some authority around here. All right, so, yo recuerdo cuando antes había algo de autoridad por aquí. Yeah, I remember. No me extrañe que esté enfadado. Si algo así hubiera ocurrido cuando Jones estaba aquí, habrían rodado cabezas. Okay, we say, yo digo, algunas cabezas habrían rodado. Some heads would have rolled. Hoy día nadie parece querer la responsabilidad. Nowadays, nobody seems to want. Nobody wants. Nadie quiere. Pero da la impresión que nadie quiere. Nobody seems to want the responsibility. I remember when there used to be some authority around here. I remember when there used to be. Cuando antes había, o antes hubo, algo de autoridad. I remember when there used to be some authority. Now there isn't any authority. Yeah, nobody wants the responsibility. And what happens? Problems. And what? He's angry. And I understand it perfectly. No wonder he's angry. I would be angry too if I were in his shoes. En su pellejo, en sus zapatos en inglés. Yes, no wonder he's angry. If something like that had happened, if something like that, algo así, if something like that had happened, hubiera ocurrido. If something like that had happened when Jones, el antiguo jefe, when Jones was here, some heads would have rolled. Nowadays, nobody seems to want the responsibility. Yeah. I remember when there used to be some authority around here. Authority. I've spoken about it. Authority. Autoridad. Las autoridades. The authorities. Viene la idea de autor, pronunciado author. Author. Autorizar. Authorize. Autorización. Authorization. Sin embargo, autoridad. Authority. 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 La U ya no está. Authority. I remember when there used to be some authority around here. No, la U sí está. Authority, but the pronunciation is authority. A table, a chair, a microphone, authority. It's como si fuera una autoridad, authority. So I remember when there used to be some authority around here. And I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised that he's angry. No wonder. No wonder he's angry. You know, it's completely logical. No wonder he's angry. I would be angry too. See you tomorrow.